we are going to talk now about the performance of Trent Alexander-Arnold. And yeah, this could get feisty because I think it's fair to say it was one of the worst games he's ever played for Liverpool. He gets a 6.7 from Sofa Score, does Trent. He gets a 6.1 from Who Scored, and he gets 6.7 from FOTMob. And even that feels high, Jay. Like, maybe it's because, again, look, these stats websites, they're based on like algorithms and stuff like that, and maybe it was just use of the ball or something, I don't know. But actually, the defensive side, obviously, it was a stinker. Use of the ball wasn't great either. He lost every single ground duel he was in. Like, he had 5 of them and lost all 5 of them. Dalot had him on toast most of the game. Both goals come down that side as well, as worth mentioning. Man United, every bit of joy they had came from that side of the pitch. And like I say, sometimes if Trent isn't defending particularly well, he might pull a bit of magic out with the ball at his feet. He was actually probably a net negative. And the only surprise here for me is A, them ratings, which I think are probably all too high and, again, algorithm based. And B, the fact that he was on the pitch as long as he was, because he lasted a fair old time there. And usually I would have expected Arne Slot to be more decisive because, yeah, that was... If you're looking at someone thinking your head isn't in the game and there's transfer speculation surrounds here or contract situation, that's what that... People are obviously now going to put 2 and 2 together, and Trent can't have any complaints about it having performed like he's just done.
Yeah, in terms of his old talk and celebration, he hasn't done himself any favours there. Well, I mean, but obviously we've had the events of this week, and then he's put in a really poor performance there. I think it was everything that opposition fans have criticised him for. It's like he gets beaten too easily on the outside. But we've always defended him, and like you say, there's been games where he hasn't had the best defensive display, but then he's scored a free kick or played an unbelievable ball to Mo Salah, or there was none of that today. It was all of their joy came down his side. As we were saying in the watch along, it's Dalot. It's not like he's got Gareth Bale to deal with down that left hand side. You know, Dalot's a decent enough player, but he constantly had the beating of him. I think one of the criticisms he's had is appearing a bit lazy at times, and I think for that for the Martinez goal, all right, the play breaks down. They win a second ball. They have another bite of the cherry, but then Fernandes is cutting inside, and he's kind of just sort of leisurely, like going like, oh God, you know, he's not. He doesn't seem to be striding tooth and nail to block the ball. Fernandes plays a little reverse pattern, and they score the goal. So yeah, I thought it was a really disappointing day for him. I think those ratings were too high. Yeah, I agree with you. I think it was a surprise he stayed on the pitch so long. It was about 80 minutes he got brought off. He gets a yellow card and then gets brought off. Immediately, Bradley then has some joy in attacking areas, which Trent didn't see.
And won tackles.
Yeah, so, you know, and it wasn't perfect down our left when Bradley came on. It wasn't, you know, I wouldn't say it was chalk and cheese, like, oh, as soon as Bradley came on, it sorted the whole thing out. It didn't necessarily, but yeah, not the best display from somebody who's seemingly trying to prove that his head is still in the game. And he, you know, everybody said, well, he won't want to leave in January. He wants to win a Premier League. He wants to try and win another Champions League. Whatever happens in summer happens, but he's going to be putting in good displays between now and the end of the season, whatever decision he makes. At the first game since this Madrid bid, that doesn't seem to be what's happened so far.
And it's okay, we don't know. We would just be speculating. It would be unfair to say it's definitely the Madrid thing.
Yeah.
But listen, if people are saying that, he's got no real rebuttal. He might say, listen, it was a bad game, whatever. But listen, mate, when you're reportedly, and again, this is all reportedly, asking for big money off somebody, whether it be us or Real Madrid, there's transfer bids going in for you. You know, we said before the games, right? The spotlight was going to be on him.
Yeah.
And he shrunk in the spotlight. He melted in the spotlight pretty much, and like it was pretty bad. Like, again, I go back to it. Defensively, I thought he was all over the place for the most part. But even like I say, his use of the ball, it was unlike him. Like there was not even that one spectacular pass. It was either poor passes or kept it safe. He just looked like a man whose head's up his arse, and it might be, and that again, it would make sense if it is. but kind of tough shit. Like the reason your head's up your arse, mate, is either because you want to stay and want more money than you're being offered, or you want to leave. Like it's on you. Your head doesn't have to be up your arse. You could go to Liverpool and say, I want to go to Real Madrid. You could go to Liverpool and say, give me the contract, I'm staying. Like he's not going to get many people giving him any sympathy when he's kind of, if Liverpool hadn't offered him a contract, that's a different matter, kettle of fish.
Yeah.
But by all accounts, he's been offered one. He's not going to get no sympathy from people, and if he plays like that again, well, I mean, he won't even get a move to Samir Rovers, isn't it? Or Dog and Duck. Never mind Real Madrid. Yeah,
I think that's one of the only things that we were talking on the transfer show the other day about the likelihood of him going in January, and I said, well, the only way that Liverpool would maybe countenance it is if it came out publicly that he was going to Madrid, and then our fans start getting on his back. And look, I'm not expecting our fans to treat him like Xerxes. He got treated for Man U and getting booed off and stuff like that. But there could come a bit of a change. We're not a club that generally boos our own players, even if they're playing poorly. I can't probably count on one hand times Liverpool have been booed off. You're going back to like the Hodgson days when that was happening. So, but he's got to. He can't be putting in too many of those performances between now and the end of the season. First and foremost, because we've got a league title to win, but also we don't want to get dragged into this kind of press maelstrom of like we're speculating now. Is his head in the game? Is what's going on? The first half, I put a little bit of it down to, well, maybe Liverpool haven't quite sorted their line out, and it's not specifically his fault. And if Man United's forward players are making some well-timed runs and all that. But the longer it went on, the more you just had to focus on him and go, yeah, all of their joy is coming down that side. They're targeting that. I mean, Robertson's been the one who's been getting criticism in recent weeks. They barely bothered trying to attack down Robertson's side. So, yeah, I think really disappointing from Trent. And even, as you say, like, those breaks, you love him when the opposition have got a corner, we win the ball, he picks a perfect pass through to Mo Salah or somebody or someone who's breaking. Even those passes weren't passes weren't working. Didn't see any of his trademark sort of switches of play. We had a free kick, and all right, it probably suited a left footer. Mo took the free kick. It was a dangerous area. Wonder if a really fully confident Trent says to Mo, I'm taking this, I'm bending this in the top corner, or roll it back to me. His
head was gone, wasn't it? His head was gone. By the way, so I do apologise. I pressed the video on me. It was actually that video that just automatically played, which Virgil van Dijk just absolutely bollocking Trent Alexander-Arnold, and he did it 3 or 4 times. And like, he's the captain. And like, he's having his own contract disputes and things like that as well. And yeah, I don't know if it's a mentality thing from Trent. It was just a bad game, or I don't know. We can't say it, but what I would say, Jay, is that he was a real net negative for Liverpool today. And it's very often you can say that about Trent. You can sometimes say, yeah, he has been caught out. I thought actually this season he defended quite well. Yeah. But there's been a couple of home games now, Fulham, and again 10 men, and you can kind of half excuse it. But again today, Man United just went, we're coming at you time and time and time again, and he kept getting joy. And like I say, those ratings are probably too high, and I'm surprised he were that. And like I say, I'm surprised he lasted 86 minutes, because he could have been taken off at half time and he'd have had no complaints. Let us know your thoughts, guys. Again, comment section, social media, what you think of Trent's performance in that 2-2 draw.